Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I'm a geek, you're watching Kevin the Geek, and today I am going to do a Doctor Who reaction. Sort of. Some people may disagree with this. For me personally, I feel that this is enough of a part of Doctor Who's history that is worth checking out. So, Doctor Who, of course, ran for approximately 26 years. From 1963 until 1989, before, dwindling viewing figures and people's lack of interest in the show kind of fizzled out, and ultimately the BBC decided to cancel Doctor Who. Well, not so much cancel it, but kind of put it on hiatus, really. And that happened until, of course, 2005, when Russel T. Davies brought it back with the Ninth Doctor. Now, those years are what some people kind of refer to as the wilderness years, and in that time you had the 1996 television movie, which is something I've only ever really watched once, but I'll probably watch it at some point and maybe react to it on, for the channel, especially when I do my review for that, when I eventually get my way through classic Doctor Who. But there was a number of different things that happened in that time period. So in 1993, there was a 30th anniversary special called Dimensions in Time, something I've never seen, but I will be checking that out tomorrow on the channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Today, it is going to be The Curse of the Fatal Death. And this was a charity special for children in need, and it was done mostly to give the fans kind of something, and I think it was from 1999, and so it was after the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann, having a different actor portraying the role of the 9th Doctor, which obviously, at a later point turned out to be not canonical. It's sort of been wiped from the Doctor Who archives. But I think it was their way of trying to do something with the show and give something to the fans whilst also doing something nice for charity. So I'm going to be checking this out today. Of course, this is the 24th of November. So yesterday was the actual anniversary date of the show. So I, of course, am doing loads of different stuff for the channel. I've done it all over the month, celebrating the 60th anniversary. And so if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, smash the like button, drop your comments down below, all the usual bits and bobs. But right now, I'm going to be checking out, for the first time, The Curse of the Fatal Death. Okay, so this is about 20 minutes long. I'm hoping this is going to be really funny because it is Rowan Atkinson playing the role of the 9th Doctor. So let's check this out. Starting the reaction in 3, 2, 1. Doctor Who does comic relief. Diddly-dee, 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 diddly-dee. This looks like probably a sort of 3rd, 4th Doctor's kind of era time sequence, if I'm correct.
You are doomed, Doctor. Doomed! You are piloting your TARDIS into a deadly trap, and even you will not suspect until it's far too late.
If you're going to spy on me, you really should turn the speaker off.
My dear Doctor, after our many centuries of conflict, naturally I wished you to know that your certain death is now certain.
That's Jonathan Pryce, isn't it?
But even you will never suspect that your destruction awaits you on planet Zaston 4.
Oh no, not Zaston 4.
Turn the picture off, I'm afraid. I can still hear you.
I know that. Of course I know that. Curse you!
Now, I wanted to talk to you anyway. I have some news that even my arch-enemy needs to hear. Meet me on the planet Tercerus in 2 hours relative time. And do try not to be late.
Mock me while you may, Doctor. My revenge will be all the sweeter. And it will be a deadly vengeance. It will be the deadly vengeance of deadly revenge!
I love how the time rotor in the middle is just so wonky. I don't know if that's on purpose or if that is just to sort of be, just how it is, and that's kind of how it was in the originals.
Where are we, Doctor?
The planet Tercerus, once home to the Tercerons, the most kindly and peace-loving race I've ever encountered, and yet the most shunned and abhorred species in all history.
Why?
They could communicate only by precisely modulated gastric emission.
Oh, lovely.
Planet of the bottom burpers. So what happened to them?
They discovered fire.
Ah, that's not good. That's not good either.
No doubt, because no one has set foot on this planet for 100 years, you thought you had escaped my traps of death. But you forget, Doctor. I, too, have a TARDIS. When you told me to meet you at Castle Tercerus, I simply traveled back in time 100 years. And I bribed the architect.
Oh, no.
Say hello to the spikes of doom.
Say hello to the sofa of reasonable comfort. Naturally, I anticipated your journey back in time, and so I traveled slightly further back and bribed the architect first.
Or so you think. Naturally, I anticipated your traveling back in time, so I traveled back in time to an even further point.
Oh, no.
And I bribed the architect first.
God damn it, Doctor's dead.
Well, naturally, I anticipated your journey back to an even earlier point.
Doctor, will you stop showing off? You've got something to tell the Master. Just tell him.
Very well.
Very well.
I recently calculated that I have saved every planet in the known universe a minimum of 27 times.
Nice.
But you know, I have grown weary of all the evil in the cosmos, all the cruelty, all the suffering, all those endless gravel quarries. And so I have decided to retire, settle down, and get married.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Without even knowing I was looking, I have found a woman to love. A woman more fascinating than all my travels through time and space. A girl more exciting than an escape up a ventilation shaft. A lover more thrilling than an army of cybernetic slugs.
Wow.
Sadly,
I'm with the
Doctor,
Master on that
I
one. Ugh.
cannot wish you a long and happy marriage. Because the moment I'm done with this nauseating conversation, I shall travel back in time once more and buy the architect an expensive dinner.
Oh, not an
I
expensive
suggest
dinner.
He puts a lever just here and a trapdoor leading to the vast and disgusting sewers of Tercerus. Exactly there. Prepare for 500 miles of fear and feces. Goodbye. Forever, Mr. and Mrs. Doctor.
Since you appear to have fallen down a sewer, you won't be able to have dinner with the architect. Although, in fact, he's already eaten. Because I had dinner with him and suggested he place the trapdoor right here. Come along, my dear.
Not so fast.
Oh, my
How
God.
can he be here? He just fell in the sewers. And why is he so much older?
Because it's taken me 312 years to climb out of those sewers.
And
Oh,
naturally, you
no.
found your TARDIS and travelled back in time to the present day. No doubt to wreak one of your terrible revenge things.
Yes. But this time, I did not come alone.
Oh, no, not the Daleks.
After 3 centuries of climbing through those sewers, only the Daleks would accompany me. Because only the Daleks don't have noses.
So, Doctor, we meet again?
Oh, my God, it's original voice Daleks as well.
Poor things.
Observe, Doctor. I am no longer merely a Time Lord. My body has been augmented by superior Dalek technology.
So what can you do with that, then?
What?
You don't know, do you?
Exterminate! Exterminate!
Exterminate!
No! After 312 years of climbing through the biggest and most disgusting sewers in the cosmos, after 3 centuries of wading through those vast, steamy lakes, climbing those huge, squelchy mountains, after a lifetime of only dung slugs for food, and the occasional company on those long, lonely nights.
Ugh.
After all that, I'm going to kill the Doctor myself. With my own bare hands.
Hand, I think you mean.
Die, Doctor! Die!
Oh! Bye-bye!
Don't worry. I believe he knows the way out.
Yep.
624 years in a southern sewer.
This way.
Run, Doctor, run!
After them, you fools! Get them!
Oh, not again!
936 years in a sewer. Wait for me. Wait for me.
Wait for me!
These corridors all look the same.
We should be safe in here.
Oh, no! More Daleks!
So, given that exterminating you would be the most sensible thing to do,
Yep.
why do they always change their minds at the last moment?
Good question.
I'll explain later.
Behold! Once again, I have been augmented by superior Dalek technology, rejuvenating my physical form and granting me even more power over the cosmos.
Notice? Breasts.
Yeah.
Not breasts, okay? They're Dalek bumps. They can detect ion-charged emissions and operate as etheric beam locators.
Can they
at
now?
a distance of up to 20,000 light years. They're also extremely firm.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing.
Why are the Daleks helping you? What are you giving them in return?
I have granted them secrets of the Zectronic energy beam.
Oh, no. You fool. With a Zectronic energy beam, the Daleks will be able to conquer the entire universe within minutes.
With just a beam?
Damn it.
How?
I'll explain later.
Prepare to operate the Zectronic beam in 5 Dalek minutes.
I obey.
You may conquer the universe, but you'll have to share it with the beard and the bosoms over there.
The Master will be exterminated when he has served his purpose.
If the Master knew that the Daleks intend to kill him, he might help us.
But how are you going to tell him without the Daleks hearing? They'll exterminate you on the spot if you say anything. I think we've really had it this time.
Don't cancel our wedding yet, my darling. There's just one thing you've forgotten.
What?
Daleks don't have noses.
Scraping the barrel a bit there, aren't you?
Think, my dear. Back on Tercerus, the Master and I both bribed the castle architect. Not only do I speak perfect Terceran, but so does he.
You mean?
Yes. I can communicate with the Master by carefully controlled breaking of wind.
Could
Oh
I be
my God.
tied to a different chair?
Silence.
Why'd you have chairs on a Dalek spaceship anyway?
We will explain later.
Danger.
Ooh.
You are facing certain doom. Certain doom?
Try not to clench.
The Daleks are planning to exterminate you.
Why are you repeating it out loud?
As you twiddly hippie jeep weep.
Sorry, that was me.
Cease this communication! You have betrayed the Daleks! Exterminate! Exterminate!
Oh no!
You fools! This electronic beam controller will now not only explode, it will implode! We're doomed!
Repair the Zectronic beam!
It is beyond my ability. Only the Doctor can do it.
Oh no!
He's dying.
If I remember correctly, do you remember the time crash, like Children of Eden, where it was the 10th Doctor and the 5th Doctor? Wasn't there the whole thing that implosion cancels out explosion, or the other way around? So in theory, this electronic energy beam should have nothing to worry about at all.
Yes, my darling.
He says I love you.
Oh, Doctor. You've killed him!
I think not, my child. This is only his 9th body. He has many, many more.
Oh! We get the regeneration!
The Time Lord.
Hey! Regeneration!
Oh, sorry about that. I thought I'd just slip into something more comfortable.
Oh my god! Is that, oh god, I can't remember his name. Richard E. Grant. That's bonkers, because he's... So, because I know he's basically, he plays, again, sort of unofficially, the 9th Doctor, when he did the animated Scream of the Shulker. And then, obviously, in actual Doctor Who, in the revival era, he went on to play the Great Intelligence. He's played so many roles, technically, in Doctor Who, hasn't he?
Result, cute, sexy, and lick the mirror handsome.
Ooh.
I remember you, don't I?
And you still fear me, Doctor?
You're the camp one.
I'm not camp.
Oh, yeah. Nice tits.
Oh!
Remember you lot, of course. And, you're my fiancé?
You remember me then?
How could I possibly forget the only time-travelling companion I've ever had?
You've had lots of companions.
The only time-travelling companion I've had.
Oh, right.
It's still me in here, Emma. These old hearts are still yours. Can you still love me in my new body?
Actually, I don't think I'll have too much of a problem with that. Back to the TARDIS.
A Zectronic beam controller is going to explode!
And implode.
Help us, Doctor, and your life will be spared!
What better way to end my career than saving you metal gits? Pop into the TARDIS, get a bottle of good champagne. When you come out, we'll start celebrating the beginning of our new life together.
Great.
I think in my new body I'm going to be particularly good at rewiring.
Oh shit!
Doctor?
Oh! Oh my god, Jim Broadbent! Oh my god, so he's the 11th Doctor. Wow!
You're my fiancé, aren't you? Oh dear. Seem to be a bit shy of girls now. Oh, the problems of changing personas. So unpredictable.
Doctor, look at me.
A minute. Oh dear, another girl.
I'm not a girl, Doctor. I've told you before. These are Dalek bumps. They can locate etheric beam emissions and everything.
So, you don't want to try again, do you?
Yes, probably not a bad idea, actually. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Actually, I think the problem's probably located in this area.
Oh, oh my god, we're going to get the 12th Doctor, are we? Oh my god, Hugh Grant!
Oh dear, now look at that. I've gone and used up 3 whole bodies in just under a minute, and all because I forgot to unplug first. That really was terribly silly of me. Sorry about that, my dear. But unfortunate.
Oh, Doctor.
Oh, assistant.
Oh no! 13th Doctor coming!
Doctor!
Residual energy. I'm a stupid ass, should have realized.
The Doctor has saved the Daleks. His life will be spared.
No. His life is already lost. That was a discharge of pure Zactronic energy. Even a Time Lord cannot survive its terrible power.
But he can just change again, can't you, Doctor?
Afraid not, my dear. Zactronic energy. Too powerful.
Oh, damn
It
it.
has destroyed my ability to regenerate.
Well, no 13th Doctor
Afraid
then.
this is the end. Look after the universe for me. I've put a lot of work into it.
But how can we look after it without you?
I'll explain.
Doctor,
Damn
listen
it!
to me. You can't die. You're too nice. Too brave, too kind, and far, far too silly. You're like Father
True.
Christmas, the Wizard of
Definitely
Oz,
true.
Scooby-Doo. And I love you very much. And we all need you, and you simply cannot die.
He was the best and bravest of all my foes. From this day forward, I will renounce evil and follow the path of goodness to honor my fallen foe.
The Doctor saved the Daleks. The Daleks, too, will honor their mortal enemy.
He was never cruel and never cowardly. And it'll never be safe to be scared again.
Was that a phrase from the original show? Because obviously I know the never be cruel, never be cowardly thing. That was a thing. I think it was first mentioned in the 50th anniversary, and then it mentioned once or twice after that. Or was this literally the first ever utterance of that kind of phrase? Oh no, we are going to get the 13th Doctor.
It's impossible. Beyond all known laws of the universe.
Maybe even the universe can't bear to be without the Doctor.
Emma, look. I've got etheric beam locators.
No, Doctor. I'm afraid those are actual breasts.
Are you sure? I think I can see the on switch.
No, Doctor, we have to face facts. You've come back to life, and this time, you're a woman.
Really? I've always wanted to get my hands on one of these.
Unfortunately, I haven't.
Your mother's going to get a bit of a surprise at the wedding, isn't she? Do you think we'll both wear white?
I'm afraid, Doctor, and I'm not sure this sentence has ever been used so completely accurately before, but you're just not the man I fell in love with.
Well, never mind. We can still rattle around the universe, fighting monsters and saving planets. What could be more fun? My best friend by my side, my trusty old TARDIS, and of course, my sonic screwdriver. Oh, look, it's got 3 settings.
Doctor, stop that!
Doctor, I have to say, you are rather gorgeous.
I'm not bad, am I? And come to think of it, you're a great deal more attractive than I remember.
Why?
That is Joanna Lumley, isn't it?
Tell me, why do they call you the Master?
I'll explain later.
Does it say anything about who they are? No, that is literally it. Okay, right. Give me 1 second then. Let me gather my thoughts to that, and I'll be back with you in just a moment.
A few moments later.
Okay, so that was The Curse of the Fatal Death. And it's a weird title when you think about it, isn't it? Curse of the Fatal Death. Because fatal death, isn't every death fatal? So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, that one, isn't it? Right, so obviously, bearing in mind, like, I know that this isn't canonical. But does that mean I can't enjoy it as a Doctor Who fan? No. I did actually kind of enjoy that. And it's the kind of thing that I completely get, you know, where they're going with this. Because at this time, obviously, it had been 10 years since the show had kind of finished. And yes, they did the, the TV movie, and they did the you know, the Dimensions in Time 30th anniversary, but they didn't know whether the show was ever going to get picked up again, whether they were going to do anything with it. And so if you're going to do something kind of cheesy, to kind of bring it back for comic relief, you know, make it silly, make it funny, make it, you know, just a fun 20 minutes of just kind of silliness, you know. So, we had a number of Doctors in that. Firstly, the one I want to mention very quickly is Roy Skelton, because he was the original voice of the Daleks. And for me, I didn't grow up knowing him as the Daleks. For me, he was Zippy from the kids' TV show Rainbow, and there was a particular moment in that.
The Master will be exterminated when he has served his purpose.
That specific moment, that's when I twigged who it was. Because I just knew the name, Roy Skelton. I knew that he was the original voice of the Daleks, but I never twigged that he was Zippy from that. And it was just that single line, that to me was like, oh my god, that is Zippy from Rainbow. So any kids, or rather any person who grew up a similar sort of era to me would have probably watched Rainbow at some point, being a kid. So yeah, that was a nice little touch. And if I remember correctly as well, I think that was his last ever voicing of the Daleks. I don't know if he died before the revival happened, but obviously Nicholas Briggs does the voices of the Daleks now, and does a fantastic job, it's got to be said. But another kind of link to kind of old and new Who is the writer of this one, Stephen Moffat. And this is apparently Stephen Moffat's first kind of writing for a Doctor Who kind of thing. I don't know how old he would have been at this point. I would have guessed, you know, kind of either late 20s or his early 30s. I would say at a rough guess. You know, knowing that he's obviously gone on to do it in the later years. And what can you say about it? It was just really good fun. The whole thing was just really, really good fun. I enjoyed every bit of it. Now let's take these Doctors, the people who play the Doctor in this. You know what? And there's definitely a couple of them who I'd definitely say, wouldn't they have made a terrific Doctor? Now, the most notable one from this one is Hugh Grant, and he was apparently offered the role of the Ninth Doctor when the show originally kind of came back with Russel T Davies, and he turned it down. And he did say that it is a bit of a regret of his, you know, that he would have liked to have done it, you know, knowing what the show became. But that in of itself is one of those kind of things you think, you know, would that have been the right person then? If they didn't do it because they didn't necessarily think it might be a success or anything, and they only wanted to do it and they feel it's a regret because it became a success, yeah, I'd say maybe you were not the right choice for it after all. But obviously that would have been around the time that he was a big star. You know, I think it's kind of faded in recent years, Hugh Grant, but he was a mega star in that sort of late 90s, early 2000s era. Find it interesting that the 13th Doctor in this was also the same as the actual show, where the 13th Doctor was the first incarnation of being a woman. I don't know whether they intended it or it just kind of happened and it's a bit of a coincidence, but it's an intriguing coincidence at the very least. That was some funny little moments there between her and I'm pretty sure it's Jonathan Pryce. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was Jonathan Pryce. And then the other three, obviously Rowan Atkinson, Richard E. Grant, and Jim Broadbent. And Jim Broadbent is, well, actually, I would argue that Jim Broadbent and Rowan Atkinson are arguably too famous, really, to play the Doctor if you did them now. Rowan Atkinson, definitely at that time, I think he may have been a bit too famous as well, because I don't like necessarily going for like the really famous actors to play the Doctor. They like to go for people who are a little bit less well known, so it doesn't necessarily take the shine away from the Doctor as such. Richie Grant, I think he works slightly better as a villain. I'm not going to lie. There's just something about him. He probably would have been the closest one to what we actually ended up with the Ninth Doctor. And maybe I'd say Rowan Atkinson was probably a little bit closer to David Tennant's version of the Doctor. Kind of using talking and being quite charming and a little bit handsome and everything. Although, the 10th Doctor in this was a little bit vain. But yeah, I just feel that was just so much fun. It was so campy and cheesy. It didn't take itself seriously. It was just something fun for comic relief. No, was it comic? Yeah, it was comic relief. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Did you guys enjoy it? Whatever your thoughts are, please drop your comments down below. Join me tomorrow for my reaction to Dimensions in Time. Now, tomorrow is the 25th of November, which means that it is the day that the special airs, the newest special featuring David Tennant as the 14th Doctor. Now, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos and you don't quite know what is happening, basically, at the moment you're seeing this, I'm not here. I'm not here in my living room. I'm not watching anything there. I'm either on a plane or I've just got off a plane because my birthday is also the anniversary of Doctor Who, 23rd November, and I booked a trip to Poland to go see like a Christmas market for my birthday. Then they of course announced that the 25th would be one of the first specials, so I was like, damn it, I can't change my plans now. So right now I am in Poland, or at least very close to being in Poland, it should be said, and I get back on Monday. So my plan is either on Monday night or Tuesday daytime, I'm going to record my reaction to Doctor Who, The Star Beast, and then that, in theory, should be coming out on the Wednesday, and you'll see my reaction to it. I don't know quite how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know if I'm going to do like an edited, condensed version and a full-length reaction, or just a full-length reaction. I'm going to have to decide. Obviously, I will be very restricted on time to try and get out for the Wednesday, but then, of course, I'll be doing all the others afterwards. But, yeah, there's loads of different stuff that's happened on the channel this month for Doctor Who related stuff. I've done reactions, I've done rankings, I've done reviews and stuff, so check everything out. There's loads of playlists on the channel where you can see absolutely everything. But for right now, thank you so much for being with me for this little journey, for this little bit of a fun thing. So, for now, my name's Kevin. I'm a geek, and you've been watching Kevin the Geek. Goodbye.